Happy day and welcome to my reflection. Today, my reflection is titled The Liberating Art of Non Expectation. So, let's have a discussion about it and what I concluded. So, when I thought about the liberating art of non expectation, the truth is that often in our daily lives, the art of not expecting things from others is false. In a world where expectations weave the fabric of our relationships, it is essential to recognize the power of releasing expectations. So, I'm going to share 6 things that may help us release ourselves from expectations. The first one I'm going to share with you is the burden of expectations. We all harbor expectations, whether it's expecting a friend to remember our birthday, a colleague to appreciate our efforts, or a partner to fulfill our emotional needs. But what happens when these expectations remain unmet? Then we start to feel disappointment, may even have some resentment, and sometimes we even get angry. But expectations, though seemingly harmless, can weigh us down like carrying a heavy brick on our back. Number two, the freedom of letting go was a reflection of thinking about how hard it is sometimes to let things go. So imagine a life unburdened by the weight of expectations. When we release our grip on what others should do for us, that's when we become free. Then we are free to create our own happiness because we're not relying on that external expectations. So it'll be like taking a deep breath, shedding the old skin, and allowing room for growth and authenticity. Number three, because cultivating gratitude is something we know also helps us grow. So instead of expecting our solution to be to cultivate gratitude, so when somebody surprises us with kindness, we let it become a gift rather than an obligation. And then we're not expecting to start thinking, what are we going to do for them because of gratitude transforms mundane moments into extraordinary ones. So we have to remember just to say thank you and mean it, and that carry more weight than 1,000 unspoken expectations. Now, I thought about number four, which is authentic connections, because when you incorporate or cultivate gratitude into anything, you are being your truest self. So, number four being authentic connections. True connections thrive in a soil of non expectation. We get to be our truest self. When we engage with others without preconceived notions, we open doors to genuine friendships. And then just imagine the conversations where we listen without judgment. We can all appreciate that. Just hear me. And when we start to love without having conditions or strings attached to it, these connections are the gems of our existence. Number five, self reliance and empowerment. I concluded this because if you think about where we were, we already had the freedom of letting something go. And then if we start to cultivate gratitude with that freedom, and now we're our authentic selves, and now we can form authentic relationships. That's going to empower us, and that's going to help us build self reliance. And what I reflected was by not expecting, We empower ourselves. We learn to meet our needs independently. Instead of waiting for validation, we validate our own self worth. And that gives us empowerment. And self reliant becomes our superpower because we can no longer dance to the tune of that external approval, because now we're empowered because we are our true selves. We have cultivated even more gratitude. And how can that not be a win? Well, those first five, which leads us to number six, those first five leads us to six because when we start to incorporate new things about ourselves and our growth happens, we get a ripple effect. So six is the ripple effect. And what I concluded was to consider the ripple effect. When we stopped expecting, we start inspiring others to do the same. That caused our relationships to transform because remember, we started cultivating gratitude, which is the mega self growth. So, as our relationships transformed because we were at our truest self, we became empowered, and then they became spaces of mutual respect where each person's autonomy is honored. So imagine we in a world where we give freely without expecting anything in return. Just think about that. In conclusion, my friends, of my reflection, let us embrace the liberating art of non expectation. Let us release the grip on our expectations and allow life to surprise us. As we do so, we'll discover that joy resides not in what we receive, but in what we give. The unexpected gifts of love, kindness, and understanding. And remember, my fellow travelers, the path of non expectation leads to freedom, a freedom that transcends circumstances and connects us to the essence of our humanity. Thank you for listening. And remember the liberating art of non expectation. Have the most amazing day.